Okay, we're running a little behind, so I better get started. We've got a great concert in store for you guys tonight. If you were here last time, for instance, you heard the beginning band. They played some short songs out of their Red Beginning Band book. Now they're on to bigger, better things. They've got longer songs, and there's a lot of harmony in them, a lot of dynamic changes. Sometimes it's soft, sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's in the middle. So they're bigger boys and girls now, and they can do a lot more. So you're going to be impressed by how much they've grown. We've got a couple of rock tunes for you. The first one, Let's Rock, and then our final piece is ROC came to USA. Is it John Mellencamp, John Cougar Mellencamp? I don't know what you call him now, but anyway, it's one of his hit songs. And our second song is on a Sazi. It's completely different. It's slow. It's in a minor key. It sounds a little sad, a little eerie. And so, three interesting pieces for you tonight. on up. Those of you who are in charge of the chair detail and the stand detail, go ahead and do your thing. And while they're doing that, I'll share some remarks with you about the songs we're about to sing, or play. Okay, so we've got 4 songs for you tonight, and we had a kind of a theme that was based on film music and television music, and then we got this horrible conflict with Russia and Ukraine, and so we had a piece in our library called Freedom Scores, which I'm pretty sure I played that when I was in band, and so I got it out and I said, well, we can do this. And so I wrote down a few remarks about the current situation over in Ukraine. My choice to play this was motivated by the horrible war in Ukraine. As we play this piece, we will be imagining the end of this horrible war and a victory for Ukraine. Our thoughts are with its soldiers, wives, children, and all of its citizens, and we do indeed stand with Ukraine. Freedom Story. Our next song is Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry. And this is a song that's on Back to the Future, which is a great movie. Marty McFly gets a little carried away with it, but that's okay. They weren't quite ready for it, but when they were, it was great. So, Johnny Be Good. If you've got kids in the age of, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to, 10 or 12 or something like that, you've probably heard this next theme. It's to a cartoon called Gravity Falls, which I didn't know anything about, but the kids came in and playing it. They turned off the music from the internet, and they started playing their own versions of it. And I thought, well, let's see if we can find one. Well, I looked everywhere. I looked at every sheet music company that I knew of. I looked all over the internet, couldn't find a band arrangement for it. So I got a piano version of it and made an arrangement myself for these guys, specifically for this band. So they're going to show you how hard they work with this one, especially because they've got eighth notes. It's 150 beats per minute, which is really fast. And you've got some 7th graders all the way up through seniors playing it. Carson Arnold has 8th notes almost the whole time, so in other words, he's playing super fast. And there's not really a breath mark in it anywhere because I transcribed it from the piano part and, didn't put any breath marks in it. But he's pretty good. He knows he can handle it. And so it's just, it seems like such a small, it's a short piece, but it's got a lot of difficult things in it. So I think you're going to enjoy this, you're going to be impressed. Gravity Falls. these guys are finally going to perform the Jurassic Park theme. And I guess there's a whole lot of new Jurassic Park movies that I haven't watched. In fact, I've only watched the first one, but that was good enough. I need to watch the rest of them now. I even wore my Jurassic Park shirt to school today, and Mr. Cates, the vice principal, saw me in the hall, and he's like, "Awesome shirt, man." I'm like, "Yeah, we're playing this music tonight at the concert." This is the first song we started learning this semester, and we already had it learned pretty well by the time we had a recruitment concert back in March. And we did it for that concert, and I thought, wow, I thought we got to keep playing this. Well, not only did I think that, but a lot of the beginning band students thought so too, and they started playing it by ear, and so now they won't stop playing it. And now the little 5th graders and the 4th graders, when they're going to the restroom, they use the bathroom at the band room because they go around the baseball field when they run and walk. And they hear us playing that, and they stop at the door and they look in. They're like, "I know that." And apparently there's a new Jurassic Park cartoon out. And I watched several of them with my nieces. It's one of the few cartoons they watch that I can tolerate, and I actually enjoy it. And it's not YouTube where they say words that they drag out and they say it a lot loud, which I'm an old guy now, I guess, because that gets old really quick to me, but they love it. But enough of that. Jurassic Park, and I'm wearing my Jurassic Park shirt in spirit right now. The awards ceremony and senior recognition. So we've got 3 awards to give out tonight, and we've got 1 senior to recognize. Gas band students can go ahead and get ready for their performance, and I'll call up the awards recipients. our drum major during marching season. And she was the shortest person out there, but that didn't matter. They all could still see her. So if Amanda will come up, where did you go, Amanda? There she is. She'll be up here in a minute. The drum major is kind of like, the drum major keeps time. She's the one that stands in front of the band, and the band kind of falls in to what she commands, pretty much. So has a very big responsibility, and she did it very well. Amanda Chesworth. The Arion Award, and it goes to Kyle Beston. Kyle Beston does just about everything. He plays every saxophone. He's played Barry, he's played tenor. He could play alto if I made him. But his brother plays the alto, so I don't make him. We got Mark doing it. So if you'll come up, Kyle also fixes everything for the band. Anything that breaks or anything that needs to be put together. The carts that we use to go back and forth from the band room all the way over to the football stadium. He put all the wheels on that, and he's just really multi-talented in music and working with his hands. I don't know what he can't do sometimes. So anyway, here you go. I'm not sure if Carson Arl needs an introduction, but we'll give him one anyway. Come on up, Carson. Carson gets the John Philip Sousa Award. Mary knows exactly what that award is. Did you get the John Philip Sousa Award? Yes, she did. I figured she did. Here it is. The John Philip Sousa Award is the highest award you can get in band. And you know, obviously Carson was going to get it. He's played alto sax when I first started teaching here. And then we got this brand new Barry saxophone thanks to John Grimm. If you all see John Grimm out in public, shake his hand, give him a hug. He donated $20,000 to our band a few years ago. You know, just the sweetest man on earth. Him and Helen Grimm, his wife. Give them a hug next time you see them. Carson has been in band since, like I said, since I started teaching here, before I started teaching here, 6th grade, right? So he's in 12th grade now, and he can do anything on the saxophone, and he writes music. He was the first person that I had in jazz band to want to improvise a solo, which means when we play jazz, we have a section of the song, you solo in it, he just starts making up music. And there's no written notes out, he just makes it up. He's been staying in the band room during lunch, much to the disappointment of our lunch ladies, especially Connie Taylor, who has told me repeatedly she misses him and she's disappointed that she lost a customer over there. But, she misses him a lot. But he stays there, he plays music, he eats lunch afterwards, and he writes music. And we're actually going to play one of his pieces here in a little while. And so, since he's our senior also this year, do you have the balloons? We had a surprise party for him beforehand. He's got his hands free. Are you sure? Okay, I'll open for you. We had a surprise graduation party for him. Of course, a lot of you guys already know that because, you know, we planned it. But he didn't know, so it was always, well, we're going to meet here at 5:30 in the band room for a rehearsal. When he gets there, there's decorations everywhere. He's like, what's this? and then everybody yelled surprise at him. So Carson has written out a few remarks, which I'll read to you. This is his second time doing this year because he had senior night during marching season. But this is the band concert, so it's different. His parents are Brian Arnold and Tricia Gargak. He plays the baritone sax and alto. He's been in band for 6 years. His hobbies and interests are music, weird music, cool music, and special Carson music. Oh, and science too, I guess. Imagine that he's going to Missouri S&T in the fall. So, Pubs and Groups Jazz Band. His best band memory, making up jazz music under the watch of the large tiger P&G on the walls of Hanuman. Hanuman is a Thai restaurant in Poplar Bluff. You've got to go there to know what it's like. There's a statue of Jesus on the roof. Apparently, there is a large tiger.
It's
a giant P&G. I'm not.
It's like
Okay. So, just a very different kind of place, but the food is homemade. You can't get better food than that. Pocom, the owner, and her husband Mark, they run the place. She cooks. She's got a few helpers in the kitchen, and she makes real authentic Thai food, and it's great. The best crab rangoon you will eat around these parts, I promise. Try the crab rangoon first. It's not like the Chinese restaurants. It's much better. Okay, so Carson, we love you. We're going to miss you in the fall. We will know that you are not here with us, but you will be here in spirit with us. Carson.
I'll take very special care.
All right, it's time for jazz. We had Tadpole Blues last on the program, but the beginning jazz band members come up. Them and the high schoolers are going to play this song. It's Tadpole Blues. Blues is in the title. You don't need much explanation for it. It's just a good blues, swing blues song. So these beginners especially have worked very hard. They practice one, sometimes 2 days at a week after school, usually just one, from about 3:30 to 5. And when they first started out, I had to explain to them what a swing rhythm was, and I had to. They learned the blues scale, which is the two kind of things you have to do to play jazz. And after that first, rehearsal, by the end of it, they were already doing the swing rhythm. They were already getting that blues scale, and I thought this is going to be great, and it has been. It's been so much fun, and they worked hard, and so next week we won't have any more rehearsals, but they may get a performance opportunity still at the senior awards ceremony, and they will. This will not be the last, and they may do one more song. So, without further ado, Tadpole Blues, Doniphan, mixed middle school and high school jazz band. listen to the great music coming up in the high schoolers. We've got a couple of pieces that we're going to do. One, it's kind of a combined piece. Zachary Gray is one of our leading band members. He goes every other year with his family to be missionaries in Africa. And we always say he's blessing the rains in Africa, which is getting pretty old in him, but we say that. He sent us a piece. I told him, I said, well, we're going to have a theme this year in our jazz band of original pieces. And can you send me something that you've written? Because he writes all the time. And so he did. Well, he sent me a super, super difficult piece. And I'm sure he can play it just fine. But I couldn't play the piano part. And so I thought, well, what can I do? And so I remembered a little theme. He had his little theme. Sometimes he would play a theme from a piece here and a theme there just randomly when he got bored. And I remembered one of them, and I thought, you know, I wrote a piece a few years ago, and I could include that in what I'm doing. So the intro is Zachary Gray's, and then we'll follow. It'll transition into my piece, which is called Goodnight Seattle. And if you ever seen the Frasier show with Kelsey Grammer, you know at the end they have a theme song. Kelsey Grammer sings the theme song, and then he says, "Goodnight Seattle, we love you," because it's based in Seattle, Washington. And I liked the ending theme song in college, and I just wrote a piece kind of based on the last 3 notes of it. It doesn't really sound like the song, but it was inspired by the Frasier theme song. And so I thought, well, we'll call it Goodnight Seattle. And we're going to do that next. And then we're going to do a piece by Carson Arnold. It's kind of an arrangement, really. And he took, I think, a theme from Godzilla, and then he took the music from a video game that he plays, I think. Right? Kind of, sort of, made it his own. And we're just going to jam. That's just what we're going to do. We're going to have fun. We got together, we made this all up, and we're going to have fun, and hopefully you guys have fun listening to it. You don't have to look very far for it. Before we go, I'm going to share with you a little story, and hopefully that helps maybe define and helps you clarify the meaning of all of this. Voyager space probe was the first man-made object to leave the solar system. Voyager, in case it's ever encountered by extraterrestrials, is carrying photos of life on Earth, greetings in 55 languages, and collection of music from Gregorian chant to Chuck Berry, including "Dark Was the Night, Cold Was the Ground" by 20s bluesman Blind Willie Johnson, whose mother blinded him at age 7 by throwing lye into his eyes after having an argument with his stepfather. He died penniless of pneumonia after sleeping bundled in wet newspapers in the rooms of his house that had burned down. But his music has left the solar system. Music is important. Learning how to play an instrument makes us smarter. It relieves stress and anxiety and allows us to express ourselves in ways that words cannot. It takes us away from our phones and video games and allows us to do something other than scroll and read. Playing in a band allows us to be competitive, but also requires us to cooperate. We learn the value of teamwork and goal setting, whether we're marching to a tune or playing in an orchestra. We are given a reason to become analytical and creative. We are given the opportunity to socialize through words and music. Music allows us to be human, to show off, to be humble, to make and learn from our mistakes, to make friends and memories, and to make miracles. Tonight you have witnessed the miracle of your child's music education, and I hope you have enjoyed the experience. That's all we've got tonight, folks. Thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks to all